Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today, inshallah, we have a new lesson. It's the cases of the letter Ra. The letter Ra has many cases, sometimes heavy Ra, sometimes light Ra. So when should I read it heavy and when should I read it light? We will see now. He said here, according to lightness and heaviness, Ra letter has 4 cases. Light Ra has 4 cases. Okay. And heavy Ra has 8 cases. Okay. Sometimes both are allowed. Like the letter you can read it heavy, and sometimes you can read it light. We will see this. Okay, this is 5 times, and this is 1 time, or 1 word, 5 words, not 5 times. Sorry, 5 words in the Quran, in the entire Quran, and this is only 1 time. It can be heavy and light, but it's better to make it light. Or sorry, it's better to make it heavy. We will see this. The 4 cases of the letter Ra to be light with the short vowel Kasra. When the Ra itself has Kasra, like this. Rizqa, Rizqa, Rizqa. Second case, with Sukoon and yeah, original, or like it's already Sukoon, the letter was already has Sukoon, or Sukoon because of the stopping, a result of stopping. Like how? Like this Ra has double Dhamma, right? But when we stop at this Ra, should we say Asirun? Should we say Asirun? Or we make it Sukoon? We make it Sukoon. And when the letter has Ra has Sukoon, what should we do? Ra has Sukoon. We go back to check the vowel of the previous letter. So if you found the previous letter has Kasra, so make the Ra itself Kasra. Exactly when the Ra has Kasra, like this, Rizqa. Now the Ra has Sukoon. How can I know? Maybe heavy, maybe light. No, go back to the previous letter. Go back 1 letter. If the previous letter has Kasra, make it light. Asir, Asir. Should I say it like that? Asir, Asir. No, that's not correct. If the previous letter has Kasra, make it light. Asir, Asir. Okay. And how about if the Ra has Sukoon? Okay, what should we do? We said we go back to the previous letter. If you found the previous letter also has Sukoon, so how can you know? We go back to the previous letter. If you found the second last letter has Kasra, also make it light. Like this one, this example. When we stop here, you will have to read the Ra Sukoon. Okay? So now go back to Jim, it's already Sukoon. Let's go back to Ha. Ha is Kasra, so make the Ra light. Hijr, 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 Hijr. Okay? So the Ra is light if the Ra has Kasra, or if the Ra preceded by a letter has Kasra, Ra Sukun, but the previous letter has Kasra, or if the Ra has Sukun and the previous letter has Sukun and the previous letter has Kasra. Okay? He said also with Sukun and the previous letter is Ya Sakina. Look at this. The Ra here, when you stop, it will be Ra Kasra. Okay? And the previous letter is Ya, only the letter Ya. Okay? The letter Ya has Kasra. So, should we go back to the previous letter? Yes. Yes, but here we have exception. Let's discuss this again. If the Ra has Sukun, we go back to the previous letter. Okay. If the previous letter has sukoon, we go back to the previous letter. If the previous letter has kasra, it's light. How about if the previous letter has fatha or dhamma? The ra will be heavy ra. But here we have one exception. Only if the previous letter here, the second letter here is ya letter, okay, and you found the previous letter has fatha, make it light. So it's one exception. When the ra has sukoon, preceded by only letter ya, okay, and the previous ya preceded by a letter has fatha at the top, make it light. How about if the previous letter, the ya, before the ya, the letter has dhamma? No, make it heavy. Don't make it light. Okay. I have to do this again, but fast. The rules of the letter ra. Okay. When the ra has kasra, it's light. When the ra has sukoon, preceded by a letter has kasra, it's light ra. Okay. When the ra has sukoon, preceded by a letter has sukoon, we go back to check this letter. If this letter has kasra too, so the ra is the light ra, like this one, hijr. How about if the ra has sukoon, preceded by letter sukoon, preceded by letter has fatha or dhamma? 100% it's heavy. 100% it's heavy letter, heavy ra. Okay, but we have one exception. If the ra has sukoon, preceded by the letter ya, not any letter, by ya sukoon, and the previous letter has fatha. So if you found this shape, like a letter fatha, followed by ya sukoon, followed by ra sukoon, this case only make it like al-khayr. Al-khayr. We don't say al-khayr. Okay? This is one exception. But how about if there is here any letter except the ya has sukoon and preceded by fatha? 100% it's heavy. Again, this one. The ra sukoon preceded by only letter ya. So, and the letter ya preceded by fatha, make it light. It's one exception. Okay? Like khayr. I'll give you another example. Bayr. Ba, ya sukoon, and ra sukoon. Bayr. Okay? This is also light. How about if the previous letter here was dhamma? No, make it heavy. If the previous letter here is not ya, another letter sukoon, make it also heavy. Okay? I hope, inshallah, this was clear.